Welcome to Fighting Games R. Well, what are they?
Well, fighting games are not releasing news this past weeks, 2 weeks. I don't think.
No, we've come back at a very slow time for news, which I guess in a way is a very good thing because it means we get to get back on our feet without anything huge
Yeah.
incoming, at least.
I guess one of the things that we need to make note of. I don't remember if we talked about this last time. Ermac.
Yes, I have not played. I have not played him yet. I'm afraid.
I don't even own the game, but Ed Boon, once again, proven to be fucking listening to this podcast. Hey Ed, thanks for listening. You're the only one.
Yeah.
But still, they gave Ermac a mask. Thank God.
Yeah, several options you can choose from. So for people that want Wizard Ermac, they can pick Wizard Ermac.
And I'm fine with that. I just it's literally just the thing of even if Wizard Ermac was the default, they probably would have given him a mask option. The problem is that if Wizard Ermac is the default, then I have to look at Wizard Ermac whenever I'm not playing him.
Yeah.
And people underestimate how bothersome that can be.
Well, when you're used to him being a ninja.
Yeah. But I mean, just overall, like, how many times has there been when you go up against a character in any fighting game, and you really like one of their outfits, but it's not the default one. So every time you load in, there's a roulette wheel spinning. Okay, is this character gonna have the outfit that is good, or is it gonna have the outfit that is either worse or just straight up bad?
Yeah, Street Fighter V with a sheer quantity of costumes in that game. Anytime you use Ed coming up, it's always like, well, are we gonna get one of the two decent Ed costumes, or one of all the others which are stinky?
Yeah, and obviously, seeing the bad costumes doesn't ruin the game, but at the same time, it does make you less hyped.
Yeah,
it does make your enjoyment of the game less.
Yeah.
But yeah, gameplay-wise, Ermac. Well, I watched a couple of ketchup and mustard videos, and I forget which one of them broke down Ermac. But basically, from what we can tell, Ermac is combos. So,
the clips I've seen, he looks like he's. Well, the phrase that I heard was Ermac is very rushdown heavy, which I thought, oh, that's an interesting switch from the last couple of games of Wizard Ermac, who's kind of zonery, neutrally. Who knows?
Yeah, from the videos that I saw, Ermac seems to be about two things: rushdown, reset. It's the weird, well, not weird, but whatever. The funny part to me, the humorous thing about the way that they reworked Ermac, is that it's basically like taking the MKX variant of Ermac that I used, and then just making it more powerful. Because if you remember in MKX, I used to use Spirit Ball or whatever they called the variant, where he throws out the Spirit Ball and it catches you in air.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ermac can just do that now. He doesn't need to fire a Spirit Ball. He can just catch you in the air and make you stay there for a hit. Whenever. And I'm sure that there's a maximum amount of times that you can do this in a combo. But I would be surprised if it's less than 2. You know?
Yeah.
But at least from the videos that I saw.
Yeah. Though in MK1, every character's got so many moves, who knows if you even need to use that to loop it back.
Yeah. But yeah, I saw that he has that. He seems to have, it's hard to tell from the videos because either the videos are going into his levitate stance and then immediately canceling it into a kick, or he just has demon flip kick now because Ermac needed that, you know.
That's a good question because you get into, old Marvel vs. Capcom 2, right? So a big part of learning Sentinel or Magneto is how good are your flight cancels, pal?
Yeah. And so, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just literally every fucking video I see of Ermac does the kick out of the levitate very fast. It could just be that, but it's hard to tell off of a video.
Well, if it gives them an instant overhead, then that's going to be popular for obvious reasons.
Oh no, they do it in combos. It does screw from Tekken.
Oh,
more or less, at least from what I remember. Like
I see.
Like canceling levitate into the flight kick. It enables the bounce system in Mortal Kombat 12. And then, like, other than that, like, he seems to be able to cancel into teleports more often. Because it used to be that you can cancel to teleport from neutral, or you can do it off of a jumping kick. I think you can do it off of punch now too, like just normal ass grounded punch.
Oh,
and also it launches because why wouldn't it? And that's the although I will say that is the hard part about me not having access to MK12 is that I don't know if they need to meter burn that or not, because I don't know where I should be looking for the meters to begin with.
I think MK1. How am I forgetting this? I've played MK1 for over like 200 hours. But I think if memory serves, MK1 just has regular meter in the bottom right and bottom left as usual.
I didn't notice it moving in my peripheral vision whenever I watch these videos. But
you'd be shocked by the stuff that isn't meter burn in that game.
Yeah. And other than that, Ermac also just has some range tools because he's always had those. But it's basically just either I decided to play Ermac Zoner today or style on a motherfucker, more or less. Like, just juggle someone with projectiles. Why not?
Yeah.
It's I don't think that they're like good damage wise. I would assume they would scale very bad. But at some point, if you get deep enough into being a combo fiend, it stops being about max damage and starts being about, okay, but how can I style on you? I'm not dealing damage to your health bar. I'm dealing damage to you, your soul.
Yeah.
Like it's the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh health counter thing. The attacks skip over your monster and attack you directly. But yeah, I think that's all of the actual news. I mean, I guess there's I think they called him Maven. Mavado.
Okay. Mavado's not out yet. The assist character comes out like halfway between characters.
Yeah. We saw, I think, 4 moves from Mavado in Ermac's release trailer or whatever.
If he wasn't a DLC cameo, if he was a regular on-disc cameo, I would say that's probably all the assists he's got. But the DLC cameos have generally had a lot more to offer.
Ah.
In exchange for being weirdos.
Yeah. And
I never really played with Chameleon, or Chameleon with a K, but she seems weird because she's got a bunch of very good moves, but they made her accurate to classic Chameleon. She's switching between them all the time, and you just have to accept, well, these are the moves I have access to right now, I guess.
Yeah. Mavado, from the stuff I saw, seemed kind of just there. He does have a new move, and it's a Cyrex bomb, pretty much.
I think I saw that, yes.
And other than that, he just seemed like a guy. I forget if he does his deception or fatality as one of the cameos, or if that's his grab or fatal setup. I forget.
I mean, it would make sense. He had one of the few relatively solid fatalities in Deadly Alliance, or at least creative. Wasn't particularly gory, but then that was Deadly Alliance.
Yeah.
Fucking Johnny with his brain rip fatality was the best.
Quan Chi breaking his own neck, dying. But yeah, I think that's all of the like actual genuine news that we got in the past 2 weeks that I can remember at least.
Yeah.
So then, I don't know where to begin. Well, I have played 2 obscure fighting games.
I kind of have too. Yeah.
Then which one should start?
Your choice. I think mine are probably a bit less obscure because they're both Capcom games, but still.
Mine are one of them is Capcom and Arxis. The other one is Bandai. So
I see. Capcom and Arxis, so I assume that means you found an emulation of or excuse me, a copy fell through your ceiling of Sengoku Basara X.
Yes, Basara Cross.
Yes.
Let me tell you, it is a game. That's the thing about that era of games. It's not like great. It's not.
It's the fucking It's the fucking Fist of the North Star era Arxis.
Yeah, I mean, it I will give them like I will. I was going to say I will give them some credit, but like no, it doesn't really matter. But you know, one major difference between Basara Cross and Hokuto no Ken is that Basara Cross feels closer to X-axis gravity, so the characters don't feel as weighty.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I mean, the game is fine. Like, I think the game is good, but, you know, it's not exemplary. It is very interesting, though, how it works in some of the systems of Basara, of Sengoku Basara. Because how the assist system works in the game is that every character has an assigned assist by default. When the round begins, the assist character starts going towards the fight, I guess. And along the way, they level up. So the longer you don't call in the assist, the higher level it will be.
I see.
And I'm not sure exactly what difference that makes, but it definitely does. I just don't read Japanese. A similar issue is that there's 2 modes to play the characters in. I cannot tell you what the difference is because once again, I do not speak Japanese.
Yeah.
There's a blue option and there's a red option. They changed something, probably. Maybe it's just turbo. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I see a question though with that particular way of handling assists. Does that not encourage the player to just not use the assists until they're at their strongest? And that's going to result in a lot of players just getting into the Final Fantasy Elixir scenario of like, oh, but what if I need it later, and never using their assists?
Yes and no. Well, the assists when they're on the map already, the assists work like personas in Arena, kinda. Yes, they do, because you don't. I had to remind myself that the personas in Persona 4 Arena work like the stands did in Heritage for the Future, but they don't. So yeah, like you have your assist character has a separate button dedicated to them, and you have every other face button but that to use as your normal inputs. Then you have the assist button, and the assist button does at least a move. This is one of those things where, once again, I can read Japanese. I'm sure I could figure out if there's more. A lot easier if the only thing that was in English was on the main menu. But
Yeah.
but I guess the UI is in English. Like most of the UI is in English, except for like the options. You know.
Yeah.
And like I assume if there's any written text in the story mode, then that's probably nothing in English. But aside from that, all surprising amount of Basara Cross is already localized.
All right.
But yeah, once again, like I think it's like I like the game, but I didn't go in expecting it to be like this, great like hidden gem of a game, and it's not. Like it's good, and that's it. It's a quality licensed anime fighting game, and sadly, there's not a lot to list there.
Yeah.
All right, then I guess you hit one of yours too, and then we'll just go back and forth like this.
So I finally got around to, after having owned the Capcom Fighting Collection for several years now, I finally got around to playing Cyberbots, if I don't slur my words. So I was not prepared for that. That is not your usual fighting game.
I think I might have played it once 15 years ago or so. And
yeah.
I remember going, I don't understand this. And then I never played it again.
It is weird. The combos seem difficult to... I could never figure out how to consistently combo anything. I didn't try that hard, though, so I won't say that there was any issue there. The thing that weirded me out, though, was that for about the first... I put through it in an arcade, and for the first time in 5 or 6 matches, I was like, the movement in this, it's odd. I mean, the dashes are rapid. I mean, like, it virtually... like, okay, how many characters are there in fighting games that can full screen dash, right? There's Magneto in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and like maybe 2 or 3 others throughout all the fighting games.
EX Chip.
EX Chip, kind of Reptile in Mortal Kombat 9. It's not a dash, but it's close enough, honestly. The fact, he can cancel it, I think, so that it's pretty well a dash. And that's like, what, we've named 3 characters?
I guess would Morrigan count?
No, I wouldn't. It's not that fast. It's pretty
she's
fast,
a bit
but
too
it's not
slow.
It's not. Yeah, it's not Magneto fast. Of like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else, because I feel like we've seen at least 2 other characters who did that, but I don't remember who.
But like the majority of characters in Cyberbots, that'd be an interesting fighting game. Cyberbots, the majority of characters in Cyberbots have lightning fast full screen dashes. And when you look over the available roster, several of them are very clearly mix and matched parts. Like there's a few that are on 2 legs, a bunch that are on 4 legs, or on tank treads, or on jet engines. And generally speaking, all the ones that share either tank treads or jet fire engines or 4 legs share a lot of moves and similarities in sprites. Like Jin's own Blodia is pretty well the only mech in that game that seems to be utterly unique. All the others recycle some degree of sprite and moveset from the others. And of the, what, did I say 9? Actually, it's 12. But anyway, yeah, it's 4 sets of 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. Good work, Brain. So yeah, the 12 mechs, and they seem to overlap in playstyle a lot. It felt to me like I was never quite sure what's Rushdown and what's Zoner. There were no grappler mechs, which very much confused me.
The grappler mech is Akuma. You must unlock him.
And yes, I found out that apparently a major part of it is that there are 4 boss mechs that you can play by inputting, special code on character select, like Akuma and Turbo. which apparently 3 out of the 4 are actually considered perfectly competitively fine.
And then there's
The fourth
Akuma.
one is and then there's Akuma, who also, yes, is the only character of the only mech out of the ones I've saw, was the only one that had command grabs.
Wait, is Akuma actually a grab character?
Yes.
I was joking.
And he even has his jumping light punch is a fucking air fireball that it can do while jumping backwards, which seems bad already, but it's going to get worse when we get to the major part. So I found out after playing for, I don't know, 7 or 8 matches as the Blodio with Jin or whatever, I found out what the game's actual heart is, what makes Cyberbot so fucking weird. Yeah. Besides the fact that, by the way, it's a 3-button fighter.
Yeah.
And for every character, you've got Arm 1, Arm 2, Weapon. Arm 1 and Arm 2 are some variety of, typical normals. And
wait a second. Does Weapon have ammo?
No.
Okay.
Well, no, some of the mechs. Some of the mechs have cooldowns, not ammo, cooldowns.
Okay, because I remember seeing a combo recipe for some game. I don't think that's the thing. I don't know what the game was, but it was counting ammo. It was telling you how many shots you will have left after this attack, and how many shots you should have left if you let go of the weapon button. But it was also Arm 1, Arm 2 weapon.
There's a good chance that was Cyberbots, because there's a few that I think could get off a couple shots before going on cooldown. It didn't have an on-screen ammo counter, but your mech will have a little signal on the part that says, overheat system or something like that.
See, that would make sense, but also the ammo count was like 1,500. So that's why I assumed it wasn't.
Yeah, that kind of fine. A number that fine, I think you would need an on-screen ammo counter. But yeah, all of the mechs have attacks like that, normals with differing ranges, differing speeds, differing damages. Okay, nothing unusual. The weapon button is, without fail, a ranged attack on every mech. For some of the mechs, it's only a flamethrower that covers like half to 75% of the screen. But for the majority of mechs, it is shooting out a laser, it is throwing out rockets, it is planting mines. It is all kinds of shit. And they recycled the mine sprite for Iron Man in Marvel vs. Capcom, which I find hilarious. Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. Excuse me. But the thing that I found that made me immediately go, like, oh, this is the game. I see. Is that technically it's a 4-button fighter. But when you first pop it in, the 4th button, all it does is it's a dash button. But you can already dash by pressing right towards twice or away twice. So you're kind of like, oh, what's the point of having a 4th button for dash?
Air dashes.
Not just air dashes.
8-way dashes.
Not just 8-way dashes.
Oh no, what?
Every character in the game. Okay. So it starts as an 8-way dash if you just tap the button, but if you hold the button, it seamlessly transitions into Marvel vs. Capcom Flight.
Nice.
And apparently that is the game, is that it is actually air jousting for all intents and purposes. Like, it is fundamentally a game about air normals. At least partly because you have such, and I did notice this, that the AI in the game does not know about this. The AI stays on the ground. And here's the thing, every character in the game has the Chun-Li head stomp.
Nice.
In a game that has 8-way air dashing leading into flight. So it takes you no time at all to figure that you can just relentlessly bully the enemy in arcade mode by just doing the Chun-Li stomp on them endlessly. And I was like, oh boy, is this the game? So I looked up a little bit on the competitive scene of Cyberbot, which is not a big one. It's a very small one. But nonetheless, for what it exists, it is explicitly, yes, this is a game that is entirely about air-to-air fighting. For all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
And the entirety of your placement on the tier list depends entirely on your mech's air-based moveset.
I hope that the Chun-Li, like if you do the Chun-Li head stomp while already flying, it doesn't move you. No, so you just
that would be pretty good.
You just move into the enemy's sprite, like you go lower and lower while they're still getting hit on their head, and their head just goes down exponentially.
So I will say it's not anything that bad, but Chun-Li's head stomps after 2, Chun-Li's arc will naturally carry her back to the ground, right?
Yeah.
Not the head stomps in this one. You go straight up and you can redirect yourself in midair.
Ah, Dante.
Yeah, so you can just pogo stick the shit out of people.
Nice.
It's disgusting. And you also get to find out, so here's the thing. All of the mechs on the roster have different what are called boost gauges alongside their health meter. Boost gauge determines how long you can fly. And wouldn't you know it, one of the major elements that determines how strong your mech is on the tier list is how big that boost gauge is. So that if you get the life lead, you just fly your ass straight up in the air.
Yeah.
And just stay up there.
This game was secretly designed by Justin Wong.
Why? At least Justin Wong was going up there to build meter. Jesus Christ. Also, for some reason I thought that the pilot choice mattered and would change 1 or 2 moves, right?
Yeah.
No.
Nice.
It only changes the story that you go through in arcade mode and what your win quotes are in versus mode. That's it. Which is kind of enhances the feeling you get in that game of like, okay, I can see Jin's legacy lived on because he was in Marvel. And I think I've seen this Devolot chick a few times in other games. And Sagat could turn into the weird cyborg dude in Street Fighter V when they had the Capcom cosplay costumes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Sagat had that big fucking weird blue skin mutant cyborg dude. He's a pilot in Cyberport.
I think that's the Sagat I played a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that hideous fucking thing. His name is Shade, by the way. But yeah, it's one of those little things where you go back and see an old Capcom game, and because Capcom is very good about remembering their legacy and having lots of shout outs to their old games. So you do get that little bit of fun of like going back and going like, oh, this is where that character came from.
Yeah.
The funny thing to think about is that there's another timeline where you're gonna be seeing where you'd be seeing fucking Red Dead Revolver dudes in those Capcom fan service posters.
Like imagine if Red Dead didn't change a bit, but it was still owned by Capcom. So in Marvel 4, you play as fucking Micah Bell or whatever his name was.
Yeah, you get Capcom releases one of those anniversary arcs they do every couple of years, and you like see like on the side it's like fucking Charlie Nash is arm wrestling with John Marston.
Yeah, Rainbow Micah is now canon.
Oh God. If they peach bomber at each other at the right time, it'll make a sonic fucking boom.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So what was the other game you hit?
Well, the other game I played was Soul Eater Better Resonance, which I don't remember if I talked about last time, which is why I'm bringing it up now.
You did not.
Alright, so Soul Eater Better Resonance is a fighting game that was developed for the PSP mainly, but also for the PlayStation 2. It was only released in Japan, and it got an English patch like maybe a year ago. So you know.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been a while. Some team of maniacs just went through and translated every Soul Eater game to English.
Well, that's respectable.
Yeah. And so Battle Resonance is a game that I've known about for 10 years. It's a game that I've been aware of pretty much since it released, more or less. But ever since Soul Eater was broadcast in Hungary, at least. But yeah, it's a game that I've been aware of, but you couldn't, like, I could find videos of people playing it, but you couldn't play it outside of Japan because it's Japan exclusive. And I'm sure that the people that I saw play it on YouTube were either Japanese or played it the way I did. But and so yeah, Battle Resonance is like perhaps it wouldn't be the first, but it's one of the first, I'd say. Bamco licensed anime fighting games, and I don't mean that like overall, because obviously there's the Budokai series, there's there's the Ninja Storm series before it became Ultimate. Oh no, actually I'm wrong. It's not the Ninja Storm series. It was the Ultimate Ninja series before it became Storm. Right, that's the way.
Oh,
yeah. The thing is, I own 2 of those games. They're in front of me. I shouldn't have to think about that, but whatever. So yeah, like, those games existed already, I'm pretty sure, by 2005. And yeah, so this is among those. And it is an actual fighting game with an asterisk. For you see, it is very much like Budokai. It's a simplified input system, but it's also weird. Because Budokai, if you remember, has a punch button and like a teleport button and a key blast button, and it makes sense, and it feels fine, and there's motion inputs. In Soul Eater Battle Resonance, motion inputs don't exist. Your inputs are the following on the face buttons. You have a Meister button, which is just your regular character's attacks. You have a weapon button, which uses their weapon. And you have a special button, which is for when you've built meter, more or less. Like there's a special attack, but every character has 2 special attacks that they can use without meter. They're on neutral special button, and they're usually not great. And they're on down and special button. That's it. Forward, no, that's forward is supers. Up doesn't exist. Fuck you. Inner specials, in which universe are you living in? But yeah. And then the 4th phase button that you have on the controller is for grabs, but also charging your meter, like in KOF.
I see.
And so, Soul Eater Battle Resonance is also noteworthy because it's it got very close to inventing the modern dialogue combo system that Mortal Kombat uses.
Oh.
So the way you input things feels very bad. Mainly. But also it genuinely is a thing of like, okay, I input you have 2 strings. Well no, you have 2 strings on just neutral and whatever attack button. So, pressing Meister attack 3 times just does a normal string. Pressing weapon attack 3 times just does a weapon string. You can mix and match those and find different strings. But, that's basically all of the depth that you will get out of your normals. It's like, characters also have like down Meister attack, which like for the main character, Maka Albarn, for her she takes out a book and hits the other guy in the head with it with the spine, stuff like that. But other than that, the movesets are slim. Now the game is fine. Like, it's definitely novel to me, both because I've been meaning so long to play it, and because I really love Soul Eater. But there are moments. There are definitely moments when I'm playing the game and I go, boy, Game design, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, one thing that I really need to commend the developers for is not every single character, every character except for maybe like 2 in the entire roster, and the roster is like, I don't know, 20 people or so. All of them have their own story mode. It's not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not. There is no arcade mode in the game. There's exhibition, and there's adventure, which adventure is the story mode, and the adventure story beats, or the adventure mode story is the story of the show leading up to like the last arc, and all of the characters have in some way got it rewritten because it genuinely follows all of the plot movements. But the thing is, in the show, you follow 3 teams. In the game, you can't do that because you choose to play as one team and then just follow them. So we had to write and get it voice acted, by the way. All of these are voice acted.
Nice.
We had to write additional dialogue for what these characters would have said in this situation that the other teams got into. But also, because the game it isn't just the main characters, it's also the antagonists. There's also this funny thing where how the adventure mode is structured is you do these missions, and every single like fight, I guess, like every single fight, every single plot development, whatever, anything that you can imagine is a mission. The tutorial consists of like 12 or 15 missions. And you don't and you have to do them all, but not immediately and not in order. Because how the game works is that you unlock plot stuff by achieving more cleared missions. So, sooner or later you will probably have to hit all of those tutorials, but if you don't give a shit, then you can just skip them for, I don't know, half the game. But most of them. Anyway. Yeah. What was I gonna say? So yeah, there does come to a point which I beat the game with Maka. It took me 10 hours because that's how long the fucking adventure mode is. Props to them.
Good lord.
Yeah. Like, imagine saying, hey, I got this like borderline shovelware licensed fighting game. I have 10 hours in it. There's 19 more characters. Like, imagine, once again, the gameplay doesn't feel the greatest sometimes. Sometimes you get into the flow and it actually feels really good. Because it's one of those games where when it's not going good, then it feels really bad. And then somehow you start doing combos that shouldn't exist. Because the game is jank. Like, why does whatchamacallit? Like, why does a front flip kick, which Maka has it on forward punch? Like, why does an overhead kick, or 2 overhead kicks, actually, why does that hit OTG? And that's the thing, like, usually it doesn't, but if you catch the enemy just right, then it will. I don't know why, but it will. And that's the thing with every move. Like, everything and nothing OTGs. It all depends on where you are and when. More or less. But yeah, so I started going through the adventure mode with one of the antagonist characters. And oh yeah, one of the major things with the adventure mode, I swear I will reach a point eventually. Yes, one of the major things with the adventure mode is that to advance the plot, to get more missions once you run out of them, you need to go back to that's Meister Weapon Academy, which is the main building of the hub. It's where you go to get your new missions. It's because that's where the plot development happens for the main trio, the trio of 2 duos and 1 trio, I guess, whatever. Yeah. But because I'm playing as the antagonist, well, one of them, it's been rewritten so he's just fucking uh, he's just like hanging out at the place where literally everyone would attack him immediately, and he's just hearing rumors, and he goes and does their work for some reason.
Nice.
And I haven't gotten far into that because I was fatigued after the boss, which I will also talk about shortly. But like it's dumb, and it's not like they rewrote the entirety of the story to fit it into the guy. In fact, they kind of just removed the story. But the thing of like it is funny playing as the antagonist, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna go to the place where I will probably get killed, just to get rumors on where to go. He goes there. He hears rumors. He goes to the one of the people that will help him later, and goes, well, I guess I'm already here. Might as well beat you up. And that's it. That's the mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. Now, what isn't great is the final boss. So, the final boss is throughout the game. For the tutorials, you would find these shadow versions, or fight these shadow versions of either you or the other playable characters, and they're whatever. I mean, they are kind of harder than everyone else for some reason, but whatever. So the final boss is okay. You fight one of these guys who is already harder than everyone else, and also you don't need to punch them to kill them. You need to punch the sec in the middle of the map to deal damage to them.
Oh.
Also, the sec every couple of seconds does a burst, and the burst hits through guarding.
Oh.
So you have to fight the bursting sec, but you're also getting comboed by the AI. It took me at least an hour to beat the final boss after having already reached it yesterday.
Oh boy.
Because I had to figure out a strat to cheese it, because the AI has cleaner inputs than me, because it does not have to think about how the game feels to play. And another issue I guess is because it uses dial-a combo, it has the same problem as dial-a combo. If you start doing a string, guess what? You're in the string. Now imagine the AI is pestering you. The sec has bursted a second ago. You start doing a string to get the AI to back off. Which the only way to get the AI to back off is to knock it down. Okay, you knock it down. You hit it twice. The third hit would do the knockdown. The sec bursts. And like the sec burst itself deals like 5% damage when unblocked. Which, like, the damage stuff is it's high. Like, a special deals, I wanna say like 7 to 10%. Just one straight special. So getting hit, like, so sometimes the AI will start comboing you, hit you with the stack burst, and then continue comboing you. And I may have lost, I don't know, 40% to one of those one time.
Oh.
And that is one of the problems with the way the game plays, is that because of the committal nature of the movement, it really feels bad when you can barely get a punch in, if at all, and then the AI is like, okay, 40%. And also, there is no difficulty selection whatsoever.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Like, I'm fine with, but here's the thing, I prefer no difficulty selection, because then I experience it the way it's supposed to be. They actually have to balance the game, in theory. Like, usually I find that games that don't have a difficulty selection tend to be better balanced, because they only need to balance around the one option. But sometimes, like, we get to these things where, like, I've got to assume that either they didn't think about the repercussions of both having a very aggressive AI and a sec that bursts you for 5% damage at the same time that you have to fight, or the people who played us at the game were fucking gods. Or C, the general like game or whatever, the fight designer guy was a god, and then they just disregarded the QA testers. That's option C.
If the QA tester couldn't beat it, they fired him and hired a better one.
Yeah. the letter of them firing them was just read "Git good."
Yeah.
But yeah, once I have unlocked all of the characters, which I am still missing 2, I believe, 1 or 2. Like, that's the thing. My favorite guy from the series, Excalibur, is like the super secret, awesome, unlockable. So,
oh,
eventually I'll get him. Eventually. But then there's also the thing of like, okay, play through the game with 19 characters, and then if you play through the game with 19 characters, you unlock Death's Route. And I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Like, I know what that's supposed to mean, but like, Death does not leave his academy for plot reasons that they talk about in the game. So, oh shit! I just had an idea though. What if they actually include the last arc of the anime, but it's from Death's point of view? That would be neat, especially since he had fuck all to do with it. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, I would like to show you it sometime. But like, it once again, I will need to get everything together so it's not just so we don't have to go to adventure mode. Basically, I'm fine with showing you adventure mode as for like, you know, here's what it looks like. I don't want us to spend more time than that in it.
Yeah.
So yeah. And that's pretty much it. I played 2 fighting games that I've been wanting to play for a while, and I came away going, hey, I like these. They don't set the world on fire, but you know.
All right.
And then what was the other game you played?
I finally got around to playing from the very same collection, from the Capcom Fighting Collection, Red Earth.
Ah, did you check did you check online for a password to unlock your moveset?
I beat the game as level 1 Leo, figuring, oh, you'll level up over the course of the story mode and you'll unlock all the moves. No, I did not realize, no, you're supposed to use the password system to repeatedly play through the game to unlock all the characters' moves, or just grind up against other players.
Yep.
So, yeah, after beating the game as level 1 Leo and having a very rough time of it, which, in fairness, the continue system makes it where when you hit the continue, you come back to the boss having the same amount of health. So, wasn't that brutal, but I did die a bunch. But nonetheless, yeah, once I then hit the setting for, yes, set all of the characters to be max level, because Capcom Fighting Collection does have a setting for that.
Nice.
And then I went in and picked training mode, and I dicked around with all the 4 characters at max level.
And you found out that the ninja sucks. He just does.
The ninja, he feels great, but yes, I did. Afterwards, reading up on the game, I did find out, he's actually supposed to suck ass.
See, like, I haven't played Red Earth proper yet. I played the ninja in Mugen, and I went, wow, this guy feels bad.
He felt great in the game itself. Some characters don't translate into Mugen very well, or at least aren't made very well by the Mugen creator. Apparently, though, his problem in the game is that he inexplicably takes more hits done from some moves than other characters do. But not all of them, just some of them. But there are apparently Kenji exclusive combos, which is pretty great. Also, Leo has several normals that have different frame data depending on your distance, which is, it's pretty normal for a lot of characters. But Leo has several normals that if you hit them at point blank are punishable on hit.
Nice. Also, yeah, go ahead.
I was just laughing at that. Like, this is old Capcom here who didn't entirely understand what they're doing yet, and it shows.
Yeah. For a second there, I thought you were just going to say, also, Leo has normals?
He does. I didn't believe it until I saw it, but I did.
You unlock Leo's normals at level 15.
Yeah. Shout out to the fact that Leo's the grappler of the roster, but he doesn't get his command grab until the last level.
Nice.
And it's legitimately just the Zangief spinning pile driver, except instead of ending in a pile driver position, it ends with him sticking the sword through them. But other than that, the animation is the same as the spinning pile driver.
Nice.
Excuse me. Also, there was enough fighting games I played as a kid. They were, 3D fighting games during the 2000s, where they made it where if a character was big, they couldn't be grabbed, right?
Yeah.
So I figured it would be the case here. It's not. The fucking T-Rex is like 5 times Leo's size. Leo doesn't give a shit. He can still spinning pile drive them. He just doesn't give a fuck.
The T-Rex is not only 5 times Leo's size, but the T-Rex is also 5 times more of a bitch than Leo.
Yeah, that's true. But other than that, hey, beautiful sprites. Neat, very cutscene heavy arcade mode. The decision to have 4 very detailed moves, big moveset heavy, long, big, detailed arcade mode characters was an interesting choice. That was quite neat. But that's pretty well the entirety of Red Earth. Though it did occur to me 2 other games I can hit real quick.
Yeah.
I didn't put a whole lot of time into either of them, but I'll say real quick. I did go back to playing a little bit of All-Star Battle R, and that game is it becomes a little bit different once you look up the wiki articles for the characters, which I've looked up JoJo Bizarre Adventure characters before and storylines and tried to figure them out. But it's a little, I mean, it's JoJo, so it's always weird. But it's a little bit funnier when I look up the stuff and I start to understand, like, okay, this is actually a reference to this.
Yeah.
It has to play Kakyoin versus Dio, which, Jesus Christ, Kakyoin is disgusting zoner.
You only play Kakyoin against Dio on the whatchamacallit, the Cairo Streets level?
Yes. And I was confused why it's like that was the first fight I'd run up against an all-star battle that it said finish with a dramatic finish. And for one thing, took me a little bit to go like, okay, how do I actually trigger these? I figured it out eventually. But I was like, okay, but why only this fight? And then I just casually reading over a little bit of JoJo Bizarre Adventure plot summary or whatever afterwards. I just happened to breeze across, they have you do it with that dramatic finish because it's Kakyoin killing Dio the way that Dio actually killed Kakyoin.
Yeah. Yeah, you came across the word donut.
Yeah. Oh, Kakyoin's called the donut.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's a character in One Piece that fans often refer to as the donut for very similar reasons. Yeah. You've probably seen the signature panel where he gets turned into a donut. It's like the most famous One Piece moment ever, so.
Or Sanji.
He wanted to be the one doing the penetrating, not getting penetrated.
Yeah.
But on a more significant note, I played Rivals of Aether for the first time in forever.
Ah.
and I went in and
How
downloaded.
how much did you left with Germa?
The Germa character, I forgot. The Germa character's kind of stinky, and he doesn't have any voice lines. I figured if you're gonna play a stinky YouTuber character in a fighting game, they'll have lots of goofy voice lines that the person just took directly from Germa's own streams, but no. And the same for Obama. A lot of the popular characters on this workshop for Rivals of Aether don't have voice lines. I thought it was weird.
Maybe it's before, like maybe they were made before the people figured out how to do it.
That could be the case. I figure in a couple cases there's probably copyright issues as well, though it's difficult to say because several characters do have voice lines. I gotta say, one thing I love about Rivals of Aether downloading workshop characters is the mixtures in quality, right? Is that you get some stinky characters, you get some stinky imitations of Smash Brothers. You go and download a Mario, and it's like, okay, this is gonna be an imitation of Smash Brothers Mario, right? No, it's a straight rip of the Super Mario World sprites.
I was gonna say it's actually Mario from Dong Dong Never Die. Same moveset and everything.
The funny thing is, the best Mario I've found on the Steam Workshop still is not. It's not ripped from any of the games, and it's not a imitation of the Smash Brothers Brawl Brawl. No, it's not an imitation of Melee Mario or Ultimate Mario. No. It is a very high quality, new sprites and everything. They ripped the audio, but all the sprites and the attacks and everything are new. It's a very quality Hotel Mario.
Nice.
And they made one for Luigi too. And the Mario is great because, like, his down smash is he just gets out a toaster and it shoots toast up. And he says, all toast is toast.
He's right. I remember,
and, like, this is just one particularly super duper talented character creator for that. Like, you figure it out with Mugen, who are the really stupid talented Mugen custom character makers pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
So you'd get the really fun, like, goofy Homer Simpson that has 12 different supers and shit like that. Well, it's the same thing here, because that guy not only made the Hotel Mario and Hotel Luigi, he made an excellent Eggman who feels awesome to play. Very unique character. I don't know what it is about the Sonic fan base. It's always said, there's, of course, famously a picture of the crystal Pepsi baptism or whatever. Then the Tumblr comment is, why is it always Sonic the Hedgehog? What do these games do to the people? Right?
I thought you were talking about that image where Sonic is praying. That was made in MS Paint.
It's along the same lines. Why is it that almost all the best, some of the most quality fucking new characters I've found for Rivals of Aether on the workshop are Sonic characters?
Well, here's the thing. There's Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams are way to show overlap between the origins of data. There is a significant Venn diagram between Sonic fans and autistic people. And that's not even that's not even like me trying to insult Sonic fans or autistic people for that matter.
Well, you remember I brought that up in the wrestling thread one day, and Rocky was there, and it's one of the fucking times I've most despised Rocky, which is the real hard contest, where Rocky then just decided to take that and run with it, insulting anime fans and then saying that wrestling fans and anime fans are the same, that all wrestling fans are autistic. And it's like, why are you here? Oh, fuck that guy. Anyways.
but yeah, like, it's a similar thing. Like, I know that Sonic is adjacent, but it's a similar thing of, like, furries also have a significant overlap with autistic people, and a lot of furry art has high quality. So yeah, Sonic is the same. Sonic is the thing of, like, this has become my hyperfixation for the week, which I can relate. Genuinely, I can relate. For the past 2 weeks, Sonic has, for whatever reason, become my hyperfixation too. But whatever.
Well, I'll tell you, whenever Rivals of Aether next goes on sale, like, I found a quality Sonic, quality Tails, quality Knuckles, quality Shadow, quality Eggman. A quality fucking Omega.
I thought you were gonna say quality Obama. That's a Sonic character.
I think Obama. Yeah, Obama is one of the more popular rivals of Aether characters, though sadly he doesn't have any voice lines.
Yeah. But yeah, Omega I understand. Like, Omega was only playable in Omega was only playable in Heroes. The robot that was playable
he was
before
playable
him,
in Adventure 1, wasn't he?
that's beta.
Whatever, they're the same dude for me. It's probably actually Beta and Rivals of Aether. Let me check.
It's probably Omega. Omega tends to be the more well liked because Omega is a meme machine. Like, they didn't. I don't think they meant to write him funny, but he turned out funny. That's for sure. Like, cause in Heroes, some of his voice lines in the game are like, or when you're beating up other Eggman robots, he just out of the blue he has stupid consumer models and stuff like that.
Nice.
So yeah, like Omega, I don't think they meant Omega to be as funny as he turned out to be, but he definitely is.
Oh yeah, I also got a quality Mecha Sonic. I see Metal Sonic here. Aren't Metal Sonic and Mecha Sonic different?
Yes. Mecha Sonic and Metal Sonic
let me
are
download Metal
different.
Sonic then.
Metal Sonic is the blue one that you know. Mecha Sonic is the prototype for him from Sonic 2.
I see. Well, the Mecha Sonic I tried was very fun.
Like the difference.
The Sonics are so consistently good that another one of the best characters I found that was genuinely good beyond just being a meme
Chris Thorndike
was Sanic.
Ah. But yeah,
Gamma. It's Gamma actually.
Gamma. Okay, I'm gonna be real here. I don't know which fucking Eggman robot is which. They kind of blend together.
Well,
to
he's
me
got
too.
different. I'm looking now. He's got different palettes that'll make him look like the others. So there you go.
Yeah.
So he's effectively Alpha and Gamma and Beta and Omega all in one.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Egg Keeper. The fuck is Egg Keeper? Apparently that's a palette for the Gamma I've downloaded.
Oh, that's probably like an actual whatchamacallit. That's just like a random Eggman robot goon. But yeah, after Frontiers, you might also find a Sage. She was pretty beloved. Which Sage
probably.
Sage is for a minimal amount of context. Sage is Eggman's new daughter.
I see. I miss my wife, James.
Yes, it is, but unironically.
So, but like, I'm amazed by the quality ones. They're like, that are like very artfully handled and very loving portrayals of characters. There's a fantastic engineer from Team Fortress 2. But another one of the best characters I've found, Morshoe.
He's got it, as long as you have enough rupees.
Yeah. His crouching normal attack is, in fact, he does a roll along the ground, leaving behind a trail of rupees.
Yeah, rubies.
His 3-hit string, rope, bombs, lamp oil. He busts all of them out in order as he says them.
Nice.
His down smash is for Ganon to appear. You will die.
Yeah.
While Morshoe just ducks and goes, oh shit, as lightning goes off around him. Oh man, okay. Here's the last one I need to mention.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was picking up any Smash imitators that I saw. So I see, hey, Pikachu. Okay, yeah, all right. Pikachu M. Yeah, Pikachu M ... because the name was too long. So I was like, okay, so it's the guy, the author put his name afterwards, I guess. So
you're downloading it. It's actually Pikachu Magneto.
No. I downloaded it And I get in, and I'm like, these are not Pikachu's moves from Smash. That was that a fucking Electric Wind God Fist? And I look at the character's title, it's Pikachu Mishima.
Nice.
And Taunting pulls up a move list.
But here's the thing. Pikachu did use to have an Electric Wind God Fist in Pokken.
Yes. It's fucking Pokken Pikachu. He also has the Devil Sweep.
Nice.
And I think the Skull Cracker or whatever, the Heihachi headbutt.
Yeah. Does he have Hunting Hawk?
I don't. Well, he might have, actually. I don't remember.
I would assume it would be on air special or normal, because it's on air. It's a move that you have to input while you're already in the air in Tekken, I think. No, I'm wrong, but it's a jumping with that.
Let me throw one out there.
Yeah.
Just let's wrap this up with a little topic, a mini topic. What's a instance where you picked a character you'd never played before in a fighting game, and there was a move you threw out that as soon as you saw the character do the move, you were just dumbfounded?
Oh, one second, but before we hit that, I wanted to just say about Rivals of Aether that I remember I watched a video of Vinny Vinesauce playing a version of it with someone went through and got vetted the characters, so it was only good characters for him to show off. And it was like, it's what you would expect. It's Germa, Obama, someone's persona. Just randomly.
Yep. Dude, I've not dipped into them at all, but I've been kind of stunned by how many people actually try to make OCs that fit the Rivals of Aether universe rather than just making Mario.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of them are really fucking good, but I've not touched any. Because I've not touched even the Rivals of Aether base cast outside of Shovel Knight.
See, I've only... Shovel Knight wasn't in the version of the game that I owned.
That's not true. I've touched the Rock Beetle. The Rock Beetle I thought was pretty cool, but I didn't touch the others.
You see, I played Rivals of Aether on the Xbox, and I played the Fire Tribe, 2 of their characters. I think one of them I thought was underwhelming, and the other one was basically like Smite Loki in a fucking platform fighter. With smoke teleports.
Yeah, the dude that can make the imitation version of himself. That fucking weirdo. Well, the weird thing is that's his recovery up special. Yeah. So sometimes he ends up being the one I go up against in practice mode. So when I knock him off the stage, he turns into 2 of them. And I always have to stop and go okay, I need to tap whichever one's the fake here.
But yeah, I played a bit with that guy, and I went, I'm not really feeling it, because none of the other characters really called out to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back to the topic you suggested, one was for me definitely Raven in Guilty Gear.
What was that?
Raven in Guilty Gear, if I remember his name right. He was God Dawson with an S&M gimmick.
Well, yeah, he's hurt me harder. Hurt me harder, Snake.
Yeah.
But to me, mentally, he's still that man's minion that only shows up in cutscenes.
Yeah.
And who, if memory serves, we did not see his face for a decade. So much like with that man, it's suddenly like, oh, he's a twink. What?
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah,
that man, I almost was kind of used to it by that point. That they were retconning everyone to be a twink, but Jesus.
I mean, did you not see the completely genuine post by Ishwatari that I posted, where he confirms that all straight people, like the Japanese, vanished, and everyone in Guilty Gear is LGBTQ plus. But yeah, the only reason that humanity still exists in Guilty Gear's universe is because of bi people.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I did his fireball, and if you remember his fireball, it's not an actual fire. Well, it is a fireball, but it isn't, because it's not a traditional like Hadouken fireball. He sets out the ball and it's there. But the way he sets it out is he makes his hand like 3 times as long. and I saw that and I went, okay. Like, just, you know, not I couldn't have guessed that Raven would end up being Dawson.
No. He just likes to be hurt that much harder, bro, that he just stretches his arm to hurt himself, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to steal one from the Super Best Friends here, because they were aghast at seeing the move. Fucking, what was it? Fight of Man, or whatever. Be a man, or be a hero, or whatever.
I thought you were going to say the MK versus DC Pussycopter.
No, I don't remember what you're talking about, actually.
Wonder Woman has a move that's supposed to be like a spinning bird kick, but she doesn't turn around, like she doesn't flip upside down to do it. And also, it's badly animated, so instead of, you know, her doing the splits and doing it, she's just kind of A-posing, but her arms are at her side, so her legs are just slightly ajar, and she's just spinning in the air.
Yep, that sounds like Mortal Kombat versus DC.
And so, like, I don't know if it's still in use, but for a while, every time I saw that move talked about, I would just see it named the Pussycopter.
Yep, this is coming back to me now. Whatever fighting game that was, I can't remember the name, where they found the character Whacker. And his sonic boom he throws a fucking swastika at you.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, this one's more for gameplay reasons than for nonsense of being plot. The very first time I actually hopped in and played with Martian Manhunter, and I saw, meterless, very fast startup, teleport overhead that bounces for a combo. Like,
yeah.
There are some moves that as soon as you see them, they are immediately so good that the only reaction at least for me, I can have sometimes is like fucking Austin Powers when he sees the twins. Or, huh?
I guess another one from Injustice for me, but on the opposite end of the spectrum. Flash, kind of just in general. Like, going into Injustice, I didn't know how they would handle, how they could make Flash work in a fighting game properly. And then I played him in Injustice and I went, not like this.
Nah, yeah, Injustice 2 started to get into the issue of, like, a lot of the characters' best moves were the fucking custom moves that were tournament illegal. But, like, Injustice 2 finally started to kind of get into it by, for one thing, giving him the old spinny arms.
Yeah.
Which are so silly, but they're such a Flash classic. And giving him, of course, how can you not give Flash the I'm going to punch you 8,000 times in a single second move?
Yeah, like,
yet they didn't.
Yeah, like Flash should just play like he's a JoJo stan. Like,
yeah.
Like, okay. Imagine this: you pick Flash. Flash plays Heritage from the future. His stand is himself.
Yeah.
He's just in two places at once.
Does that mean if Flash gets knocked down, he just disappears?
One of them, yes. But see, like, that to me makes more sense as Flash, because, you know, as like a character design for Flash, because at that point you're portraying that he's very fast because he's literally in two places at once. But also,
That's true.
but also,
though time travel
yeah.
with the Flash, he literally could be teaming up with his future self.
I mean, that's true, but I like to discount time travel in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's in two places at once, and then you're seeing normal speed moves come out of him because he's in two places at once. It's the old like shutter speed rollback. Where something is moving so fast, that you see it being slow. And then why does it only hit on this frame? Then it is, instead of being just all active frames, balance, like whatever,
Yeah.
But yeah, like Injustice Flash, like I was really disappointed by Injustice Flash because Flash is one of my favorite superheroes, and from what I heard, he's also one of Ed Boon's favorite superheroes, and I didn't think he'd do that to him.
No. Okay, can I say one that I was aghast at a character for what they couldn't do?
Yeah. Johnny Joestar not jumping.
Yes. Yes, actually, that's exactly who I was about to say.
Oh.
Fucking Johnny Joestar. When he's on the ground, and I was like, oh, why is he crawling? Oh, I can't jump. I can't dash.
That's the thing. I don't know if you found it.
Paraplegic.
Not only that, but I don't know if you found it. But Johnny Joestar has a command dash that is that hits. Like when you collide with him, it's a hit. It launches.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on like forward and punch or something, like forward and back and punch or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it of course suffers from the thing of like it's a command dash, so that means you have to commit. But aside from that, it's like it's one of those things where like it's technically better than a normal dash because it's faster and covers more ground, but it's worse because you have to commit. So it's balanced.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue with Johnny Joestar.
I think I pretty well hit all there that I had to say.
Yeah. I recommend reading Stillbar Run and just skipping Funny Valentine, all of him.
Oh, what's the problem?
Well, Funny Valentine. Well, it's not really a Funny Valentine problem. It's
Fanny Valentine.
The problem with Funny Valentine and also the First Lady is that there's an underage girl who is plot relevant, and I think that's all I can say.
Oh, I think I read about that in passing. Yeah.
But yeah, like other than that, Funny Valentine is a funny character. Aside from that like half a chapter that he does that, and then but it's a bit more. I think whatever. It's
well, he's supposed to be a scumbag, ain't he?
Yes, 100%.
That seems fine to me. He's a scumbag.
I mean, it's funny Valentine I have less problems with because, as you said, like he is the antagonist. He's supposed to be bad. What the fuck is the First Lady doing?
Isn't she also supposed to be a scumbag?
Her screen presence is that scene. Pretty much.
The guy's a scumbag and so's his wife.
I guess so. The part that makes it like absurd too is that they like this isn't a planned thing. They both try to do it separately.
Yeah, they're scumbags.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as like JoJo parts with the as far as like bad scenes in JoJo are concerned, it's fine. Like we've seen worse. Yeah. There's much worse scenes in part 3. And it has
I know about
those.
the monkey. I know about the monkey.
There's the monkey, and there's the entire episode where you're watching naked baby porn ref fight a pedophile.
Right. Okay, I gotta hit one last character.
Yeah.
I'm just now looking at in Rivals of Aether that I found. The dude from Getting Over It. So you've seen Getting Over It, right?
Yes.
I figured like, oh no, he'll still be a Smash character. It's just they'll make him look like that. No, he is actually the guy from Getting Over It, and he plays like that.
See, like
he legitimately can only propel himself by moving himself with a hammer, and he gets smashes. Like, even if he hits the other players with the hammer, he doesn't do very much damage. The only way he can really get much in the way of smashing is by propelling himself at the other players. And just in training, I was killing myself so fucking often.
See, like the entire like Getting Over It thing that happened for a while. For me, the best thing that come out of that was Candy Curtis uploaded a video which was titled "Bennett Foddy Can Suck My Dotty."
Oh,
which he basically
well
like
put.
Yeah. Like I enjoyed that title, but also he basically goes into this thing of like, it's kind of just a low effort rage game, and then like goes into detail explaining why he believes so, and yeah.
I think it's a very neat concept, the gameplay style. The fact that you can fall all the way from the top to the bottom, though, is definitely adding to the rage game.
Yeah, the
gimmick.
That and also like the patronizing whatchamacallit, the patronizing narration while you're doing it, or the like two major things that he brings up was like, this is why I think the game is bad.
Yeah.
And considering that we also had like what was it called, like Climb Up or something like that since then, which was
Jump King.
Yeah, there was Jump King, which has the same falling for forever, but doesn't have the narration. But there was also this like a 3D game that was an asset flip more or less, and it was just climbing this large tower, and it was just 3D Getting Over It, but worse, because Bennett Foddy can suck my daddy, but at the same time I have to give him credit for, well, for one, it's an original concept. There we go, I said it. But also just like you can look at the environment and you can go, hey, this doesn't completely mesh together for no fucking reason. There seems to be some level design here.
Yeah.
At least some. And with that game, it was legitimately just, okay, how to make jump hard. Pipe. And not to mention that apparently the collision was bad, which I don't think Bennett Foddy, like I think Bennett Foddy's game had a good collision. That game did not. So yeah, I'm trying to think of like weirdos that I was just dumbfounded by. Oh, there's someone I'm thinking of. I don't know who it was. It wasn't Noob Saibot. It was someone after him. There was this character that I went into some fighting game with, and they looked like a Rushdown character. It was a fucking zoner.
Oh.
And I can't tell you which game it was or who it was. It wasn't JoJo's and it was not Noob Saibot. Because I would remember Noob Saibot.
Was it the dude from that? Okay. What was it? City of Angels or something like that?
Oh, Daraktenshi?
Yeah, what was it? Was it the dude in Daraktenshi that's the only character in the game with a fireball and it's just that he throws a little pocket knife?
I don't think so, no, because we very, very early on figured out that he's just Ash.
Yeah.
It might have been. No, it wasn't someone in Bloody Roar, because Bloody Roar doesn't have projectiles. Oh, fucking hell, it was King of Fighters Maximum Impact.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I also played those games for the first time, I guess. I did forget about that. Both of them. So here's the thing. Fill me in. I remember King Cup 1 being in the second one. He wasn't.
No, he was in the first, and they removed him from the going
No,
into the second one.
he wasn't in the second one either, or whatever, the first one, rather. Words.
Huh?
I played both of them back to back. King Cup 1 was nowhere to be found. But also,
I mean, I'm not a Maximum Impact expert.
But yeah, I might need to look into the alternate versions, i.e. the Japanese one, for one of those, because it might have just always seen footage of that version for some reason, I guess.
He's a hidden character in the second one.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Alongside a bunch of fucking other dudes, including Hanzo Hattori.
Nice. But yeah, I played one of the new protagonists for the Maximum Impact series, and the guy looked like the guy had a stance and had a look of like, I am not Terry. And he sure as hell wasn't, because Terry isn't a zoner, I suppose.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, Maximum Impact tried to make zoning work in 3D as well, which means that, you know, when you do the zoning attack normally, it's a projectile, if memory serves. But if you do it in a combo, it's a geyser. So,
oh
yeah. Like Maximum Impact, I played it for like 20 minutes. I guess I didn't want to play too much of it, because I try not to play a lot of these games that I want us to record eventually. Although, like, the thing is, I don't know when or how we'd play Maximum Impact to begin with, so I don't know why.
I don't think we would. I don't see a PS2 emulator coming to fight Kate.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, not just a PS2 emulator coming to fight Kate. The problem first is, all right, can we get a PS2 emulator with netplay? Let's make that jump. Then we can then we can think about rollback, or maybe if we can get both of those at the same time, it would be great. But you know,
yeah,
I'll accept one if I have to. So yeah, but yeah, so I didn't play too much of it. But what I did play, like, you know, it seemed fun to me. Like, I didn't hate it as much as other people seem to. But then, on one hand, I also liked that 3D game that looked like not Guilty Gear and played like Maximum Impact. So, and y'all didn't.
I think with Maximum Impact, a lot of what sticks out to people is the weirdo Falcon designs.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I mean, you know, case by case.
I'm fine with it. That's like a solid decade of King of Fighters designs, which obviously some of the characters were a little less impressive. But there's also a lot of characters from the Falcon Hero designs that I really love, like Ash Crimson.
Yeah. And then, what was I gonna say? I forget. Shit. I was gonna lead into something concerning this. What the fuck was it? Well, I don't know. Whatever.
All right, then. Yep. In that case, I think fighting games were.
Yeah, fighting games were.